Hello, welcome everyone. We'll start our second session on strategic audit, which we'll go through. So before starting our second session, second lesson, so we'll a bit recap what we learned during our first lesson. Anybody knows what we learned during our first lesson, what we discussed?
Yeah, basic audit and the old practices and the new practices from the 1980s till today, and some other conflicts which can arise during the audit process.
Okay, and what is meant by audit? Any definition of audit?
Yes, audit was like we are going to just the verification of kind of the data, business data or the financial data to determine the accuracy.
Mm-hmm. So the word the word audit is derived from the Greek word adera, which means to checking the accuracy in the book of accounts. So so accuracy in the book of account, in book of record. So during our first lesson, we discuss about laws, history behind, and we discuss about professional code of ethics as well during our first lesson, where we integrity, objectivity, confidentiality, and competencies are the details. So is our job to be integral. Integrity mean honesty. We're supposed to be honest, give our true and fair views about the accounts are prepared. And objectivity mean not compromise, not bias your, not conflict of interest. Like you have an investment in the company and you're doing audit as well for that company. So it's not supposed to, we're not supposed to do, because as a auditor is not our, otherwise we're not giving our true and fair views, are not supposed to be review your own work. That's really we need to be focused. Then we discuss about confidentiality, mean the client's information need to be keep confidential. If we're not keeping it or not kept, then of course we are going to compromise Data Protection Act, and when we are, it's come under the crime and can be charged under the Criminal Act. So we're supposed to be well, keep the information confidential. Competencies mean ability to do something. So we're supposed to be have a knowledge, ability, and well knowledge about the industry which we are doing audit and their processes and procedures and the legal requirement of that particular industry. If you've done the manufacturing are different, because have a different trading standards as well. So when you're doing audit, you need to be a deeply knowledge and good knowledge, good understanding how the industry work, what sort of. So in your audit reports, you can reflect as well. So that's all we discuss during, and we discuss about the history, when audits start and till now, what sort of the audit is, risk-based audit and various other types of audit we discuss as well. So today we are moving forward and we'll go through our learning outcome 2. So learning outcome 2 will be focused on the standard responsibility of internal auditor, internal audit activities, impact on the global financial crisis, increase in the legal and the professional requirement when performing the audit processes. So internal and external audit, which we'll go through, how internal audit can really impact on the overall, and it's a global, what sort of the global impact can be due to the audit process. So our learning outcome 2 is understanding the importance of legal and professional requirement when completing an audit. So understand importance of legal. So keyword is the legal professional requirement. So to complete audit. So what are the legal and professional requirement? What do you think? What
legal
are the
means put up by the law or the specific law of the country, and professional is like what ethics demand from you as an individual.
Okay, well done. So legal is a rules, legislation, and professionals are the principles, are the ethics set by the professional bodies, so those called professional ethics. So really we need to be focused on today lesson is legal and professional, so we'll go through. Any question up to now?
No, sir.
Okay. Let's move to next slide. So IFAC, International Federation of Accountants, and under International Federation of Accountant, IFAC Code of Ethics. So as a auditors, we need to be followed professional code of ethics. We need to follow international audit standard boards, all the standards. So which will go through some standards. So as to meet the legal requirement, we need to follow the standard. To meet the professional requirement, we need to follow the code of ethics. So if we don't follow the code of ethics, we are going to compromise our professional code of ethics. So the integrity can be compromised. So we need to be look around all in this. So our discussion will be focused. Then we have an international standard on auditing. Lot of new standard carry on coming, and to improve the practices and make the things more transparent. So that's all about transparencies in audit. What we are saying, audit is mean normally when we looking the quality, and what about the quality? Any definition of quality?
I guess the best practices being followed while doing audit will result in a good audit, quality wise.
Okay. Did we heard about anything about ISO 9000? ISO?
Yeah.
What is ISO?
I think these are international standards for carrying out an procedure or anything.
Yes. So ISO stand for International Standardization Organization. They check the quality of our processes, our procedures, what we are doing. So what is the quality? So ISO means just it focus on the three words. What we are saying, same thing we are doing, and we have a documentary evidence for it. So what we are saying, same thing we are doing, and we have a documentary evidence for it. So we call it can be. And then ISO, of course, have a different standard, 9000 for the service organization, manufacturing organization, environmental legislation, those sort of, also like various companies in Asia, like Halim Milk and various other companies in Asia, they have, ISO qualified the customer. So we here looking more audit standard, but that can be quality control, in terms of how will audit quality. Okay, we heard about Enron.
Yes.
Enron company. We heard about World Telecom. World Telecom. We maybe heard about various other companies as well. What's happened with them?
I think they were like kind of bankrupt, and just because of bad practices.
Yes, so due to the auditor they gave the reports that this company is going concern, will carry on their business as a normal, but actually after few months, they can't afford it to pay salaries even to their workers, and this company suddenly collapsed. So it means the auditor not gave true and fair views about the companies, and for the sake of their own fees, and that's why the company collapsed, and a lot of the shareholder lost their money, their investment. So that's why there are the lot of discussion and a lot of new standard arrived and been set up. So importance of audit is significant increase, and the lot of details integrity is uncompromised, and now is the new standards. The auditor need to be improve their honesty. So first our slide, which will focus on the rights of auditors. As a auditor, what your rights really? We need to look around. If you want to run the audit effectively, you supposed to be understand what your rights are. So access to the company's book and record. So as a auditor, you're supposed to be have a full access of company's reports, company's record, like income statement, balance sheet, cash flow statement, and other management account. So where we can explore and we check, the information is true and fair. So because our auditor can generate the report, receive information and explanation necessary for audit. So we should get all the necessary information. Those are crucial to develop our understanding and give our views about the things are true. We can get the reference from external agencies. We're supposed to be asked, various stakeholders what their views are about the company, how the company is behaving. So we can, as auditors, we can give our views, about the true and fair. Receive notice of and attend any general meeting. So auditor can attend a general meeting. In the general meeting, AGM. What is meant by AGM?
Annual general meeting.
How often we have?
I guess once a year.
Yes, normally it's a once a year annual general meeting where we declare how much dividend we are paying. We discuss about the future plan of the company. We discuss about the asset. We normally discuss about what sort of the project we are going to undertake or will as a future plan or strategic plan of the company. So be heard at the such meetings on the matters of concern to the auditor, to receive the copy of any written resolutions of the company. On the resign, we can request to the general meeting of the company to explain circumstances of the resignation, so we can resign if we need to. So what will be the procedures in the notice and the circumstances? Any question?
No, sir.
Okay. Next thing, if you want to run audit effectively, we need to understand the materiality. What is meant by material?
I think anything which amounts to like something significant is falls under the.
Well done. So significant is a huge. So think about telecom. If somebody steal a detail, miss to check, 10, 20,000 pound transaction in their book of account. But if the detail is missing in million pound of transaction, that's a material. So is it such a material? You saying the company have an asset of 20 million, 30 million, but after few months the company can't afford it to pay the salary to their worker, and the company collapses. It's mean you're not doing the audit right. So you miss the material things. So as a detail must be set before the designing an audit procedure, what sort of the things material which we want to check. So if it's an Enron company, it's a material, we look their financial position. Any company, the material, we look their financial health. Is it the company's financial health is bad or good? Then we look other procedures, like their Enron electricity. Yes, electricity demand in market and processes, renewable or not, and the government legislation that can be put the risk for the future company's operation. So all these we need to be reflected in our audit report. So design the audit procedure to reduce the risk of the material misstatement. We need to make sure, we should reflect on the material thing, establish and apply the performance of the material to reduce the risk. Assurance must be obtained. Assurance, yes, we can get references. We make sure everything, whatever being shown is physical, is present as well. Not in our book of account. In a book of account, is showing the sales is a such and such million, but all sales was a credit sale. Then we need to find to whom the company sold these and what sort of did we check their credit reference or the companies are still in existence. Like, a lot of companies, they used to be fake workers in their book of account. People even not in this world, they used to be in their book of account to reduce their taxes. So as editors, our job to be explore these. So account with the material misstatement cannot be true and fair. An editor must examine the material item in the accounts. Yes, material item in the account. Maybe we're not looking 10 million, 10 pound worth of transaction, but we're definitely going to really investigate about the £1,000,000 of transactions. Any question? Okay, so next we're looking ISA 300. ISA 300 is called International Standard Auditing 300, which is about planning. So a detail to be made professionally and make strategies how will audit will run. We need to make sure audit strategy we need to develop under ISA 300. Planning engagement characteristic, we need to look around the reporting objective to whom we need to significant engagement factor, how we can engage with the various stakeholders, what sort of activities and result really we want, time wise resources, and how will management direction and supervision of the resources all in term of the audit strategy will then we'll make the audit plan mean how we'll do the things. Yes. Strategy mean action plan how we'll achieve. So nature timing, yes, extend risk. So which will go through different types of risk, audit risk, control risk, inherent risk, those type of risk, which we'll go through in the next lesson, in the next learning outcome as well, which is just focus on the risk. What is meant by risk?
Risk is like the how can we define risk?
Yes. Is it risk is always bad?
Risk is always bad, yes.
Some people say risk it can be
Possibility
favorable.
of like happening the bad.
Oh yes, people say risk mean is a bad thing. Risk can be positive or negative. Yes. So higher the risk, higher the return.
Yes.
But you need to quantify the risk, how much ability you have to take the risk. So risk is mean the likelihood of occurrence. What are the likelihood? So if it's more than 50%, 60%, 80%, because risk is everything, yes? Whatever we are doing is some risk involved. So we as a auditor, we need to minimize the risk. How we can minimize the risk?
Minimizing the risk as an auditor is like doing an audit.
Yes, so if you have an audit plan, yes, and you're rotating your team members, not one person is looking everything.
Yeah.
Yes, so all the team members, and you putting the right person at the right job in different, yes, right time. So that will help to reduce the risk of audit. So maybe one person is very close to someone. Yes, one person is going every year to the organization. So they develop the close relationship, so they can ignore the thing. So in the audit we need to be focused independency. Yes. Auditors should be independent. So when you're becoming a close relationship, can we take gift?
Yeah, that is a risk.
Can we take gift?
No, that is not allowed. I mean, that will compromise the
yes. So
integrity.
So gift by law we can take the gift. It's not bound to take because it's come under the hospitality. We're a human being. We can take a gift, but that gift is how much is it significant? Yes, that can influence our independence. If somebody is offering us keychain as a gift, yes, or diary as a gift, or the pen as a gift, yes, so that's not really going to be compromise our independency. But if somebody is giving us a car as a gift, yes,
Yeah.
piece of land as a plot is a gift. So that is a can be compromised. So as a editor, we need to be look around. We need to be look around these, the things very closely. Yes, and we
Yeah.
need to make sure, we not compromise these. Any question?
Yeah. I understand, sir.
Okay, let's we'll move to next. Okay, audit strategy. So strategy means the action plan. The word strategy is derived from the Greek word strategist, which we used to be used just in military. But no, this is becoming very popular. Now we are using a lot in audit. Yes. So audit strategy is mean recording the objective, timing, and communications, timetable reporting, yes, clients and all. So this is strategy is very important. So we can look around the engagement strategy, how we'll engage. We can develop the framework on it, industry reporting, internal audit function within our organization. What is meant by internal audit?
Um, there are two types of audit. I mean, one is internal and one is external. The internal means the in-house team of the organization is carrying out that audit.
Yes, you're absolutely right. Well done. Okay. So yes, so we need to look around the internal and external audit. Internal, can we rely 100% on internal audit?
No, we can't rely. That is why we also have to do an external audit.
Yes. So, but internal audit help to determine the organization what sort of the compliance procedures are in place. So, internal audit help to reduce the risk for, and the editor can rely up to some extent on the internal auditor reports.
Yeah.
But not really. You have to develop their understanding just based on the internal audit. They have to check the processes of internal audit. How much is internal audit is independent? Yes, they have a separate department for it. Every time the same person is doing audit. So we need to look around the significant effect of different factors. Materiality, assess the risk, material misstatement, need for professional skepticism. We need to look around the internal control, significant developments. All these are the key points really we need to look around in the audit strategy. Yes? Any question?
No, sir.
Okay. Then audit planning. To do audit properly, we need to plan. So what is meant by plan? Where we are, where we want to be, when we'll want to start, when we want to finish. All this come under the audit planning. So meet the deadline, set the timetable, identify the problem areas, the right people we need to choose, use their time properly, yes, how effectively we engage, build the review processes, assess the risk, acknowledge the business analytical review, how they can their processes procedures work, assess the materiality and how much evidence we need to be gathered. If we are getting one evidence from bank, one evidence from suppliers, one evidence, few evidence from the customer, so these evidence are enough to develop give our views. Yes. So in audit, sampling is very important. What is meant by sample? We
Sample
can't
is
do
like
audit
a
of every.
prototype.
Sorry.
Sample, sample of anything, of like a prototype of.
Yes, sample means the small proportion of population. Yes. So we can population is a total. Yes. Total transaction can be population. Yes. Out of total transaction, we'll give every 10th transaction. We'll check it. Yes. We'll check the origin of the transaction. We'll check the authorization of the transaction. We'll check the segregation of the details. We'll check the completeness of the transaction. Yeah. So these are really we need to be looking on. We need that really audit trail for it, where this originate from and where these end from. Yes. So that's we'll pick the sample. So sampling is very important. So it can be random. It can be yes.
Yeah.
So different sampling techniques we can, our quota sampling we can. So efficiencies and effectiveness we need to be focused, and the impact of the fraud. So fraud we need to look around, we need to dig, we need to explore the organization have effective compliance procedure to minimize the fraud. Yes, fraud is intentionally, is it editor's credibility? Sorry, is it the CEO's credibility? What sort of the compliance procedure they in place? When they open the account, is it fake accounts? Is it? Yes. How many accounts they have? What sort of the money going in? How the checks they issued? Is it the one person or is it many person involved? Yes, they are buying from one supplier or they are buying for various suppliers. So all we need to be when they are buying the tender process. So all as I details we need to explore it. So internal audit. The role of internal audit is to provide independent assurance that the organization risk management, governance, and internal control procedure are operating efficiently, effectively. Effectively is mean hitting the benchmark. Yes. Internal auditors deal with the issues that are fundamentally important survival or the prosperity of any organization. So that's why the lot of organization is a failure or collapse due to the poor audit. So
Yeah.
a teacher is a significant steel mill and various other organizations, airline industries and various others are the failure due to the failure of the audit. Auditor not pick the things like we have a company. Here is construction company in the UK, biggest, so it's collapsed due to the failure of the editor, not explore it, not give. This is the issue of the going concern will be in the future. So that report can be protect the organization and protect various shareholders' investment. So internal editor deal with the issues. Yes, that will help survival, prosperity. Unlikely the external editor, they look beyond the financial risk. They not just look the financial risk statement to consider the wider issue, such as the organization reputation, growth, its impact on the environment. So always, when we do audit these days, have we heard about triple line bottom, triple bottom line concept?
No.
Line concept. So which is based on three P's. So when we are a editor, we're looking the profit of the company. Yes, the company is earning profit. We're
Yeah.
looking we're looking the company's plan toward the planet. Yes, towards the environment. They are reducing pollutions. Yes, and we're looking how they're treating the people.
Okay.
Profit, planet, and people. How they are treating them. What plan they have. Yes, their practices towards planet, global warming, pollution, yes, renewable innovations. So all come under. So this is very, very crucial as an organization. Okay, next slide. We are looking now regulatory guidance. So UK governance, corporate governance is mean how the company will run. So present government is really focusing on the corporate governance, and especially Prime Minister Theresa May is really focusing the employees representation in a company like a Barclay Bank, not on the single pound profit in a few years back, but the CEO being paid £3 million worth of commission, worth of bonus. Why the bonus there? Because the company not perform it. So there are various other governance issues. So set out the requirement relating the composition and the function. Audit committee in our organization. Audit committee, independent and non-executive, executive. Yes. So all supposed to be in audit committee is very important. Monitor the financial reporting processes and monitor the effectiveness, internal control, internal audit, and risk management system. Those are in place. So that's becoming important in our organization under the UK Corporate Governance Code. Any question there?
No, we're fine.
Okay, next is on the corporate governance, there are various reports being published. So, SERBNAS is the reports Oxley Act 2002, which was being set up this governance report after the collapse of Enron and World Telecom. So that report about the governance, they said no, under the section 404 of the Act required the company document, evaluate, test and monitor their internal control over the financial reporting. Why the companies collapsed, that's Enron. So World Telecom. So that's why these reports been. So the requirement of the senior management of the company to assess, design, operating effectiveness, advocacy of internal controls and the financial reporting within our organization. So that this happened after the collapse of Enron and World Telecom. So to improve, look around the deficiency. So this report been highlighted how we can improve the corporate governance. So this report we can include in our assignment as well. How we can include the audit standard, and further we can look around some article on these, to address our learning outcome. Okay, internal audit. What internal audit do? Assessing the corporate governance best practices, risk identification management, effectiveness of internal control, reliability, value of money, assessing the compliance, prevention, detection of fraud investigation, IT systems. Because IT system can be how secure our IT system is. It somebody can easily, how often we use the change the password, what is the policies are in place, contract audit, when do audit, how will make the contract with external auditors. So all this we need to be look around under the internal audit. So what is the difference between internal and external audit? So external audit express an opinion on the truth and the fairness of the financial statement, but the internal audit improve the company's operation by reviewing the efficiencies and effectiveness of internal control. Report to the shareholder, internal audit report to management. Availability of the report, external audit is available, internal reports not available to the public. Scope of the work, verifying the truth, fairness and the financial statement. Internal audit is a wide scope. They not just focus on the management requirement. Appoint and the removal by the shareholder of the company. But external audit is the audit committee, they set the details. The relationship with the company must be independent, but in internal audit can be employees of the company. But you're supposed to be set as a separate department for it.
Right.
So then further, outsourcing, yes, of internal audit. Can internal audit be outsourced? Yes, it can be outsourced. What are the advantages or disadvantages? More independency than the in-house department. Higher quality, more flexibility, expect training, professional firms, ethical standard, be sued, yes, as insurance, and more cost effective. But internal audit, if you outsource, lack of intimidate knowledge about the business, maybe the external audit for internal audit is maybe don't have a knowledge and not direct under control of the company. The professional fees tend to be high. Like you're hiring the consultant companies. So scope of internal audit function. So what are the scopes we can look around? It is effectiveness of the systems, effectiveness of internal control, internal procedures. So all we can look around how we can improve it. Sufficient resource, yes, if we can give both financially and qualified and experienced staff. So all this leads to be effective, internal audit. Internal audit effectiveness need to be external audit, fairness, true. Yes. So that's all. Any question?
Good, sir.
Okay, regulations of audit and assurance. The role of auditors has come under the increased scrutiny over the last 30 years. We can say to increase the high profile, economically damaging the fraud cases. So we need to look around the cost high profile cases and various other changes, like Enron, yes, various other companies. So it's even those companies, our dead license was been suspended and they can't work it, and the bad press and various others, so we need to be look around in order to try and retain the trust in the audit professional, international accounting, and with various standard being set up, organized system throughout the world, people can betterly understand, and because the investment is not coming from one country, investor are throughout the world, and the user expectations can be met, ethical code being stuck quite strict, to improve the perception about the details. So these are all, regulatory, and that will help. So in your assignment, really, we need to look around the legislation, we need to look around internal and external audit to address the learning outcome too. Any question?
Yes, sir. I think we're fine now.
Okay, so just a bit recap. So today lesson we learn about the legal requirement, where we can look around ISA 300, 301 and various other standards. We discuss about the professional requirement. As a detail, we discuss about internal and external auditors, outsourcing, and you can set up internal audit within a company, effectiveness, and we'll discuss about if you want to be make your audit department more effective, and we need to focus on what strategies or in the audit plan you need to be to improve the efficiencies and effectiveness of internal audit within a law. So legal is mean the rule-based approach, and professional requirement is more the ethical side of it to completing audit, and the importance is significantly increased based on, and we Sorbonnes or the corporate governance or the UK corporate governance we discuss, that will help to complete the audit effectively in terms of legal and the professional requirements. So that's all today. Anybody, please, if you have any question, if you're listening this lesson, so my email address there, just drop me email, and next lesson we'll go through LO3 and try to join our sessions as well. And if you have any question, drop me email. Thanks. Bye bye.